Alright guys, so let's get started on the pancake tumbler. So you're gonna need Model Magic clay. So I just buy this big one and it comes with all these individual packs. Make sure you get the white one. So get your Model Magic ready. Okay guys, so if you are not familiar with Model Magic, it's very fluffy and very thick. So what you want to do is make a ball. Kind of want to stretch it out, but you don't want to make it, you need it fluffy and thick like this. You want to keep that thickness, but keep it round as well. Take your tumbler, and then you just slide it down your tumbler. Make sure you kind of push it up against the tumbler so that it sticks. So this is a type of air dry clay as well, so just an FYI. So once you place it, I suggest leaving it so that it could dry in place. But you definitely want your pancakes nice and fluffy. And then take your caramel alcohol ink and a paintbrush and paint the top of your pancake that pancake color. I suggest leaving the bottom of it white because that's usually how pancakes look. The bottom of it's usually still white. Okay.
When are you gonna debut your frame?
This week I'm gonna do rugs again. I've been getting asked for them.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
You got making pancakes or donuts there?
Pancakes. Look like pancakes.
Color does.
So you just repeat this step, and this is how the pancakes are starting to look. So just repeat this step. I'm gonna do it on a time lapse, so it'll be sped up. Okay, so once you are done, this is what your tumbler should look like. It's up to you if you want to add a top. So I'm going to continue with the top. If you don't want to, then you are done. But fast forward to the end because I'll show you how to add syrup using epoxy. Okay, so I've already started on my lid. So you want to do the same thing for the lid so that you could have the straw going through. So I already have 2 pieces. And then I'll show you, I'm gonna speed it up so I can continue the lid, but once I get to the last piece of the lid, I'll slow it down so I can show you how to close it off so you don't see that gap in the middle. Okay, so for the last piece, the topper to cover all this up is we're just gonna flatten it out per usual, how you would want your pancake to look. And this one we're not gonna cut. We're not gonna cut this one. So make sure it covers. So it should look like that. And then remove it from the top. Remove this one. And then place your lid on the top. And then take a straw. Excuse me, let me find a straw. Take your straw and then punch your straw hole through. And spin it around, wiggle it if you want it bigger. And then do it just a few more times if you would like. Take it off, put it in there and wiggle it around so it could be just a tad bit bigger than the actual hole. So there. And then you place it on top and then make sure it is lined up with the tumbler hole. So put it on top, put that on top, put your straw back through, and make sure that it comes out the bottom. So that is what you want, to make sure it comes out the bottom like that. So we'll do that last. So now we're just gonna leave this like this and paint our top of our pancake. And then now we just let these dry for 24 hours. So you need to let your air dry clay completely dry before epoxying because if you epoxy the Model Magic before it's fully dry, it'll still be squishy underneath the epoxy. So always make sure that it's completely dry. And once it's dry, go ahead and you'll be able to glue this on. You could actually glue it on already. So just use like a hot glue to glue this on and then epoxy it later. So again, just make sure that your clay is dry. But I wouldn't glue it on yet because you would want to seal the inside of all that with resin. So just let it dry, and then tomorrow we'll glue the lid on. Okay guys, so now we're gonna epoxy it. So when epoxying something like this, I suggest using a really cheap paintbrush. So this is from the Dollar Tree. So to make sure, because you definitely wanna make sure you get in between the little cracks. So yeah, just epoxy per usual. But once you feel like it's nice and lathered up, take your paintbrush and go in between those cracks, because you don't want any holes or air bubbles or nothing that water could seep into on the inside. So yeah, just take your brush and only do this. You only have to do this when you're doing the creases. So maybe I would say just do this first. Do all the creases first. And then epoxy like regular after. Okay guys, so after you've epoxied your pancakes, this is what they should look like. I added this to the topper of my pancake. This is a 3D print from Scopistry, and you can use my discount code Candy Creates. This is part of the cupcake sleeve, but since I didn't use it, I used it for my top. So we're gonna do drip using UV resin and alcohol inks. So you're gonna need your light. So pour your UV resin into your cup. And the reason why I say use UV resin is because syrup is sort of translucent. So alcohol ink is translucent as well. So go ahead and drop it into and then stir it up. And now all you're gonna do is get it ready, get your light ready in hand, and pour your syrup. And then hit it with your UV lamp. You want to do it enough just so that it doesn't drip. You can fully cure it after, but I recommend just hitting it really quick so that it doesn't drip. And then you have your syrup drip. And then just fully cure it for a little while. And then you should be able to epoxy over it if you wish. If not, you are good. But I do recommend at least doing 3 coats of epoxy on the actual pancakes.